All right. Happy Wednesday. Had to think there for a minute. Happy 2024. I hope that everyone's feeling good and coming back from the holiday feeling refreshed. How's everyone doing? We're going to be talking about the 111 portal for 2024 and channeling the Galactic Council of Nine to discuss the cosmic energy themes that are coming through that you can work with, particularly as we are going into working with the new moon energy. Is a really appropriate time to call in and manifest in some specific ways that we're going to be talking about. So I'm excited, as always, to be a voice for this beautiful team of Elohim beings, the Council of Nine. And I love that. We're going to be having probably a meeting this weekend, another channeling of the Council of Nine to discuss who the Elohim are insofar as what and who they are and what they do and why they help people, what their connection is to humanity and to Earth. What they specifically help us with. That will be live later this weekend. Yeah. I wanted to do that theme because I noticed some themes going around the spiritual community in particular, that have the Elohim in particular and the council in a negative light. And I wanted to tell you more of, give you a higher perspective about the council and what they do and who they are. So that'll be this weekend, and how they connect to Elohim, and just sort of give you a balanced viewpoint. Let's put it that way. So that'll be fun. But today, we're going to be talking about the 111 portal because that's what's coming up tomorrow. And we're working with, we have right now a waning moon going into a full moon at some point soon after that. And that's a perfect time to work with manifesting and working with cosmic energies. Yeah. Where's everybody tuning in from? New Jersey. What part? Huh? New Mexico. Chicago. Awesome. Right down the road from me. Well, not really right down the road, but close enough. New Zealand. That is not down the road from me. Love it though. That's on my bucket list. Australia, Washington State, Seattle, Jersey City. Okay. Coastal Georgia, beautiful. Montana, Minnesota, Texas. Fremantle, West Australia, Southwest Australia. Yeah, exactly. The 111 portal just opened in the European time zone, so it's a perfect time to work with new moon energies and go into a very specific manifestation moment. I call them my manifestation moments when these cosmic portals open, because from the galactic perspective, that's when we can tap into a deeper portion of our soul and become more grounded, happy, content humans who are following in our own contracts, our own soul contracts, our own purposes for being here. So, speaking of contracts, the soul contract reading for 2024 limited time offer is still on sale on my website. It's linked to the top of the chat. So that's at PamelaAaralyn.com. And speaking also of sovereignty, we're going to be talking about how these cosmic energies coming through the 111 portal have a lot to do with the solar plexus and empowerment, personal character, charisma, kind of a, last month was a purification energy cosmically, and this month has been more of a calling in, getting used to your natural personal power, getting used to more of how you feel when you're in an empowered energy zone, and what your gifts, talents, and desires are, and manifest them in a way where you get to be in flow in the moment and have beautiful, instantaneous manifestation. That's a lot of what this portal is about, right? Are you super excited about it? It's not very far away. So we're going to learn about activating sovereignty. And in that way, you can work with those soul contracts to manifest your true life. We've been talking a lot about soul contracts. This Thursday, we're going to be channeling Hermes again and go deeper in a class called Rewrite Your Destiny and go deeper into his methods and alchemy methodologies for soul contracts on my Patreon channel. And that's listed at the top of the chat. So the biggest thing for this 111 portal is manifesting your true path in your life, right? Because in 2023, there was a theme of chaotic misunderstandings and misperceptions about what life is and how your life fits in, how one's personal life fits into the energy flow and purpose of human life, the entirety of life. Last year, many people were asking, what is your purpose? This year, in this portal, you're going to be asking, how does my purpose serve the purpose of life? Which is a deeper step in manifestation. So the importance of knowing how to activate your solar plexus to feel into these cosmic energy themes is big. So we're going to be going over the activation of the solar plexus in the Hermes Rewrite Your Destiny class on Thursday, link to the top of the chat. Generally speaking, when it comes to activating the solar plexus for human sovereignty, that is the first theme. Many people have been so distracted. The truthers virtually took over spiritual communities. No offense, truthers, love you. I mean, it's necessary, particularly since 2020, and it's always been necessary. However, there's a darker theme of being kind of caught up in the trap of the truthers in terms of, like wanting to know the truth, but not actually focusing on how to pull out of that pain in your own personal life and how to shift out of darkness and pain and into your illuminating light of your soul, into your empowered open solar plexus energy, into your sovereignty, as opposed to thinking about all of the things that the truthers want you to focus on. Is kind of getting old, because those things will change in the nature of collective soul contracts, and they are changing. And if you take a look at my 2024 predictions, you'll notice that there is going to be a lot of wonderful disclosure, particularly about corrupt governments, human child sex trafficking, ET disclosure, so many things going on, but people are still deeply focused on the darkness of all the things that are hidden. Okay, well, people who are awakening are not dumb. We know about that darkness now. We've heard you, truthers, right? And many people can see through darkness and can see and even find love and light in very dark places. So it's not to say that truthers should just shut up, but it is to say that the council wants you to deeply hone in on your unique solar plexus energy, like tapping into your chakras, opening up that system of personal power and saying, okay, now what? Where's my sovereignty? Where is my personal sovereignty? And if I feel disconnected from it, how can I reconnect? That is a huge theme that you should be asking yourself tomorrow as you tap into the new moon energies. Just go into an inquiry and ask yourself, where is my sovereignty? How do I remember it? May I receive? Ask your soul that. Invoke it. I invoke a divine revelation of personal sovereignty and empowerment. Keep asking. Keep asking, keep using inquiry in that invocation as well, asking where is it, asking how to feel it. If something's really bothering you, step into your soul right now in your own personal space in your heart and begin to ask the right questions this year, particularly during this portal. Because if we go into this portal focusing on what isn't sovereign, all the ways that we are disempowered, all the ways that the corrupt governments are in control, you're going to miss out on this 111 opportunity to activate that solar plexus, to learn what your personal sovereignty feels like, to feel that again. right? Because it's like a muscle that if you don't use it, you lose it. If you're focused too much on all the darkness and chaos on earth, all the painful paradox, you know, you're missing out on how to personally open up to what's true for you, what's sovereign for you, what's empowering for you, what's sacred for you in your personal charisma. So, speaking of personal charisma, that is theme number 2. So, in personal charisma, we need to understand who we are and what we're here for. And we can't do that by continually taking that looking glass and looking at the world, looking at the world, looking at the world. Turn around the looking glass and look in here. Here's your invocation for learning what your personal charisma is. Your charisma is the spark of illuminating light of God. It lights you up. Ask that question, what lights me up no matter what I have going on? What lights me up no matter what's going on in the world? What lights me up no matter what anyone says about me? What lights me up no matter my fear, lack, pain, and suffering? What lights me up in any and every circumstance? There will be not necessarily like your mind will try to pull that into matter. It'll try to make it a thing. The mind will say something like a sport or your partner or being a mother. Well, being a mother has a personal state of charisma about it, a personal grace, a personal energy that makes you absolutely irresistible to others. Others will love being around you when you're in that charisma. But when you're not, you'll feel lost. So during this portal, ask to find and feel that charisma. Okay. No, I'm not answering questions yet, so please hold them. I won't see them. Wait until the very end of the channeling, and then I'll give you a moment to answer questions. Ask questions. I'll field your questions to the council. Okay. So remember, personal charisma feels like an energy that lights you up. Now, there may be actions associated in your missions and purposes and things that you enjoy doing that light you up, right? Those are called missions and alignment and resonance to those missions. But when you resonate because those missions are on the path, your soul begins to shine and you look happy. You look content. There's something in you that people can't identify, and they'll start to say things like, I don't know what it is. I really like that person. And I don't know why. That person makes me smile, right? I am very personally attracted to people who have the personal charisma of joy when they're funny and when they just know how not to take themselves seriously. And I just love it. I just absolutely love it because it gives me permission to feel silly and to not take myself so seriously, right? So, I love to watch, when I'm skating at my local rink, I love to watch the little kids skate because they have that personal charisma. And when they're playing around, they play a lot when they're learning to skate. And if you're playing, something can't be scary. If you're operating in a state of joy, something can't be scary. So I've started to learn from them that they play and that's how they learn. So I'm starting to do the same and not worrying about falling is just a silly thing now when I fall. It's like, oh, look at that. Ha ha. Right. Body feels it later, but during the moment, the joy just erases pain. It's amazing. And you can apply that in your own life as well to think about what unique energy, what cosmic energy, what lights you up. That's your charisma. That's what the council means here. And that will empower you. You can remember how to feel empowered when you focus on your personal charisma. Does that make sense? Yeah, not a lot of people use that word, but the council loves that word. So the third energy theme is trusting in your choices. We're talking about discernment here, being able to be so deeply in your personal power, your sovereignty, your charisma, that you begin to just make choices. There's an instantaneous connection to your intuition, and you say, that's right for me, or no, thank you. Right? And as opposed to feeling like you need to elaborate, in this portal this week or explain to people why you've made certain decisions and why you're making choices, you just say, yeah, thank you. No, thank you. That's not right for me. Thank you. That feels good. That is right for me. I'm going to take that. Thank you. No, thank you. That's really just it. Thank you or no thank you. That is what the council advises that you say when other people give you choices and ask you questions pertaining to what your choices will be. Step into the solar plexus energy, breathe that energy up, hold it for a moment in your heart, hold your breath there, retain your breath in your heart chakra, exhale, do it again. Breathing into the solar plexus and then all the way up to the heart chakra. Hold for a few seconds, exhale, and then go ahead. Breathe one more time, holding in the heart chakra. And when you exhale, trust the knowingness that comes to you. That is the energy of discernment spiritually. That's what it means in all of the ancient spiritual texts. For thousands of years. That's in the Bible, that's in Kabbalah, that's in the Torah, that's in the Quran, that's in a lot of the Buddhist texts as well. Discernment is one of the most powerful spiritual abilities. But one of the things that we've done in our New Age teachings is kind of people forgotten those beautiful words because they believe that those words come from religion, and religion did appropriate them for a moment. But ultimately speaking, those words are a part of your nature and your soul. Religion can try to appropriate them, but those powerful languages, those sacred holy languages belong to the soul, right? So let's get back to, as you go through this portal, these beautiful sacred words that mean something, right? Trusting in your choices is going to be really important for that, bringing in that cosmic energy to manifest something different. Okay, let's talk about the fourth theme, radical acceptance. Acceptance of your current life that led up to to you feeling the way you feel right now, that led up to the moments in your life that dictate why you feel the way you feel right now and what situations are before you in connection and resonance to those feelings and thought streams. That's going to be really important just to be able to say, I am here in this space and time distortion for reasons of growth and expansion, and I accept that I created my life. Step one. Step two, I am also here to trust how to change it, to begin a beautiful process, a loving process of transformation and change. Because we cannot have that transformation and change without really accepting the circumstances that led us here. Not to say that they're right or wrong. Acceptance does not mean that. Not to say that something is permissible or good or bad, right? That's the ego wanting you to be afraid. Radical acceptance is a deeper connection of cosmic energy in the soul that says, hey, there actually must be a reason that's beyond my judgment. There must be a reason for me feeling the way I feel right now that that I cannot possibly understand, because it's beyond the human psyche. It's beyond, it's of the God mind. It's of source. And source is in control. Just saying that, doesn't that take a weight off your shoulders just to be able to say, source is in control? Can you do that with me right now? Source is in control. That's it. Take a deep breather. You've got this, G-O-D. And God's got you. Say that. I've got this, and God's got me. I've got this, and God's got me. Powerful divine reminder. That manifestation, the final step right before the big part of the manifestation in this 111 portal, is to be able to tap into the soul and ask for that radical acceptance. Ask for that big transformation of saying, I surrender to this path. There must be a reason, even if I don't like it or even if I do. And I've got this, and God's got my back. I've got this, and God's got me. Just keep saying that. Just keep trying that energy and that invocation out for size for yourself. Play around with it. Doesn't it feel like a, whew, I can't control everything. Because when manifestation becomes an enabling factor to our inner control freak, that's not necessarily going to be the best manifestation because we're only wanting to manifest when we can get things that we think that we want, that we think we understand, that we think we need, right? So, step number 5, going into that instantaneous, what the council calls prime manifestation. Prime manifestation, prime means one, not number one, ONE, oneness. Those very fast, instantaneous manifestations that occur due to thinking, trusting your discernment, breathing, and being in flow in your life. And that's not just sitting around thinking about it. This is active manifestation. In this energy, you need to go ahead and begin to create a thought stream for yourself after doing the first 4 steps here. In the 5th step, create a beautiful thought stream for yourself. Get curious. Utilize your imagination. Your imagination. The council's always taught me that a beautiful imagination is important in manifestation and channeling as well, because the imagination is like the body of the car. It is not your car. Your soul is that engine for sure. And the mind, well, it's more like the gas tank. And energy, it's gas that you put in the gas tank. All of that's important, but you need that body of the car to get anywhere. And this is very important for our bodies as well, to be able to understand the council's analogy here, right? So imagination is like the body of the car. We're not going anywhere without it. And we can't say that we're worried that something may not be true or real or correct for us or the proper state of channeling just because we can't evidence it. If we can't imagine, then we can't wonder. We need to get curious. You need to step into the energy of play. That's the most important directive for the councils. You step into the 111 portal is just to play, to be able to play with manifestations. Think about it. What would it think? What would it feel in your thought stream if you're wanting something in this 111 portal? If you're wanting to make a powerful transformation, what would it feel like to be in that state? Play around, have a thought stream, wonder, imagine it. How does it feel in your body, this manifestation? How does it feel in your thought streams? How does it feel in your emotions? Right? It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So these are the primary things. Don't forget to check out the new 2024 soul contract readings, limited time only. Book them in, if you can purchase them in January, but book them anytime after that is fine. And don't forget about rewriting your soul contract, fate versus destiny, and the unique alchemy technique called Heaven's Waiting Room. We'll be channeling Hermes on this Thursday on my Patreon channel. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's go into your questions. We'll take just a few moments to answer questions. Okay. What do I want to do with that one? Soul contract or karma dharma? This question says, what advice does my guides have for me? I've been jobless for 4 years. I feel like I need to start doing something, but don't know what. Yeah, soul contract. We're going to look at that. Now, this is just kind of a mini little soul contract read on your question, Amy. But the bigger soul contract readings are the ones that I'm doing, and they are much more detailed. You can get one for yourself if you miss out on them today, guys. So you are a loving person. This card is a beautiful cosmic card. It has to do with being unconditionally loving, right? And whatever you're doing right now, perhaps that's why you've been jobless for a while, because the jobs that you were doing did not give you that uprising surge of love. They did not really make you feel connected. Now, granted, we cannot depend upon jobs to make us feel this way. We also have to do our own work and bring that energy into a job. Right? But you have a specific fear, and it's been holding you back for 4 years, right? So you know what that fear is. Stop focusing on it as you go into the 1111 portal, take that fear, imagine an altar, imagine something that's like a metaphorical energy for that fear that symbolizes that fear, and put that. Like fear to me always shows up, just to give you an example, as like my vision for fear is like a big rock tied to my body, and I don't always like I'm in the ocean and it's pulling me down. So when I do my visualizations on fear, I take that rock and I throw it on the altar of God. Right during these powerful portals, I name the fear and I just say, I can't do this. I know there's a reason why I'm feeling this way. I know it's beyond me. I surrender this to you and I give it to Source. And this is the advice that the council is giving you as well. Okay. Ileana, I don't feel incredibly comfortable going too deep into that on YouTube because I'm not a doctor, not licensed to treat or give medical advice, offer cures. Always ask your doctor about anything that I medically say with that. Okay. But we'll look at the some of the soul contracts going on in the healing of your thyroid and the improvement of your hair. But I'm so happy to know that that's you know, you can still be going through stress and actually shift your soul contracts. So you tapped in somehow to the essence of the miracle by choosing not to focus on this. The impossible made possible is the soul contract card that came up for you, right? We still need to kind of be more in flow with the Christ conscious energies right now. You're in flow, but you're coming in and out, in and out, in and out. And it'll get better if you start working more in Christ conscious alchemy and Christ conscious techniques and unity consciousness, all right? Because this came up in the reverse position. I think you finally recognize, however, this blood angel card is a sacrifice card. And it's like, okay, in order for me to be tapped in, sometimes I have to sacrifice what I think I want in my mind, in terms of what I think I want financially, in terms of what I think I want and need, and also surrender that. So you've started to understand a little bit more about paradox and sacrifice in this paradoxical world. And that's what's actually healing you right now. Susan Robertson, thank you for the super chat. She is asking, does the council have a message? Right now, purify your fear of being independent. You used to be an incredibly independent person. Now you've mastered gratitude and you've told yourself, calm down, be grateful, it's okay. But at what cost? Right? You can master gratitude, but also be your fiercely independent self. So this is the council saying it's okay to still be independent. It's like, for you, Diane, I'm getting this message about weaving, and it's like a sorting process of like all these precious threads and silks and things that you're weaving in to this beautiful shawl in your life that you're about to understand. So you're commencing into a new cycle, but be cautious and kind of discerning about what energies you are weaving into your life, is what they're saying, if that makes sense. Sarah says, I've been single most of my life and I find myself at the moment waiting for one person to come back around. What advice do I need to hear? You know what? I think I'm going to use a new card deck with you. This is the Kuan Yin deck by Alana Fairchild, I think. Is it? Yeah, Alana Fairchild. Okay. Okay. This card says Mother of Mercy. So the energy of mercy is like saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to be gentle with myself. I'm going to be merciful with myself, and I'm going to do what gives me relief. I'm going to provide myself mercy and do what feels good. So in this case, what I'm hearing is not the Council of Nine in this case. I need to identify the being as Mary Magdalene, specific for you, Sarah. She says it might be really important at this time to ask yourself the question, does waiting feel most loving? Does waiting feel most merciful to me? Does waiting feel something that supports my energy and supports my character? Without any judgment, just begin to ask yourself those questions and you're going to know what to do. Okay. My camera's so weird today. Okay. Can I get a reading guidance on my soul contract? Yep. Let's just look real generally at this, because we have a lot of questions. I won't be able to do like bigger in-depth soul contract readings today, but we can look really generally at it for you, Diamond. So when it comes to the energy of this year, you begin to finally trust yourself to make the right choice. You begin to trust your discernment, right? And you begin to trust your discernment in how to heal. And you're stepping into your contract as a healer right now. The Hand of Fatma is a powerful healing card for you, both for yourself and in Fatma, it's like receiving a miracle for healing and also being able to share that miracle with others. It's a healer's card, right? Trust that. All right, let's see what else is here. Monica, thank you for this super chat. She said, could you please share more examples of expressing and manifesting human sovereignty that could help me best understand how to channel this for myself? I'm going to do a Kuan Yin card for you because I know you and I know you like her. So for you personally, and like I said, like if anybody feels resonant with someone else's message, it could be for anyone here today. A lot of times you could find resonance in someone's message. So the Shining Lotus card is the one that comes up. All right. And she says, this guide says, what that means is Lotus tends to have particular circumstance for when it opens. And you have this new moon energy, and it opens under the light of the moon quite often in a way that you accepting your own darkness in relation to your sexuality, in relation to your sacral chakra energy and your creativity, in relation to trust for how you feel in the sacral chakra, trust for how you feel about your body as a woman. All of that beautiful goddess energy is coming through right now in this message, because that is the mother moon energy that opens up the sacral chakra so that one can feel more comfortable in one's womanhood and one's sexuality, in one's way of like holy expressions of sexuality, etc. That's what's coming up right now for you in sovereignty. And she says that may not always feel comfortable, but that's what's required. That's what's needed. That's what's there. All right. Let's see. Christine, I did not see a question. I'm going to look back and see if you, let's see, I'm open to a reading for the year. Okay. Okay. We will look at the karma and the dharma of 2024 for you really quickly. Okay. So be discerning about how you define and confine and restrict your ideas and concepts of what enlightenment and spirituality should and should not look like. That is a big karma for the year, because that can hold back your enlightenment process and your awakening process when you've confined it too much, when you've made so much meaning out of it that it's sort of like just boxing yourself in is what the council is saying here. Follow your passions, because that's what spirituality is for you, is following your creative endeavors and your creative passions. You tend to put your instincts on hold as such a giver, nurturer, compassionate, healer type of person. It'll be important not to ignore those instincts. We get the wolf card in the reverse position, showing the karma of that for this year, like really, really looking at that. That's going to be important to not go against your own instincts. You're like a lone wolf right now, but you're not paying attention to the guidance as much as the council would like you to do. You are in deep communication with spirit right now, so you need to trust that a little bit more. You'll be in further communication with spirit. But there's still a part of you that isn't being very nurturing towards you. Again, it's like we get the nurture card in the reverse position. We have the shadow card, like showing that's your shadow that you haven't gotten through for this year. So we're going to have to work on following our own instincts and making sure that we provide as much nurturing and compassion towards ourselves as we would anybody else, if not more when necessary. All right. Drew says, can you tell me who my guides are? Well, the one here today is Kaya. She's from the Pleiadian Council. I know her very well. Let's see what her message is for you. Okay. You've been holding back your truth. You have so much hope for a new path this year, but you've been kind of thinking that it's too much, or thinking that something isn't in alignment, or it will be too much to bring about that destiny for yourself. And holding back how you feel is going to prevent that manifestation in your creative endeavors if you're not cautious with that. So it's like you're going against the grain of your own sovereignty and your soul contracts right now, because you don't think it's logical or pragmatic or the right timing. And things can be the right timing, but not be logical or pragmatic. Keep that in mind as well, is what the council is saying. Tasha, guidance about a new art medium this year. The last ones have been contributing to my sickness. Be careful, artist. Let's see here. So those mediums were accurate, but you weren't in the place to honor yourself. Those mediums were true, but you became fearful. There became a universal perspective that was cut off from you. So get back into prayer and meditation. Manage and call in your most sacred thought streams. Manage your words and thoughts right now, and return to your medium that you do best. Maybe it might be time to do it in a way that honors the universe and honors you. It might be time to do it in a different way, but your medium was true for you. It was just that something else was going on that made you really perturbed in lieu of you being an empath and pulling upon so many different people's energy, and those energies of working with people that go in different directions that are in so much pain, and then you're not really purifying, releasing, and navigating that, right? So you can be more ready for that and do this art in a different way, but the art was true for you. So don't be so quick to change your medium. Instead, trust your soul, trust your mind, trust your body, and reconsider doing things. Maybe it's something we need to do in a different way. This one says, I've had cancer for over 5 years and I'm getting treatment tomorrow. I still have children at home, so I'm fighting, but it's very difficult. Oh. Well, I'll tell you this. No one should tell you what to do or not to do with your body, right? Don't just do this for other people. You know what's right for your body, Kelly. Okay? Trust that. No one should tell you. Spend time with your kids right now. Go into an energy state with the grace of gratitude. A lot of revelations have been given to you about your cancer, but you've been putting them aside, putting them on hold, afraid of the revelations. There is still a lot of hope, but you need to tap into the grace of faith for this. The hope to heal this is very, very strong. Tap back into this, and you'll have a better experience. Stay aligned to hope at all costs. Do not lose your hope, no matter what anyone says. Okay, let's look at soul contracts for a moment. Okay. Right. So this is to heal the human part of you. That's all that it is. There's a part of you that really just wants radical acceptance. That's all that this is. There's a part of you that wants a convergence, that wants like all parts of you coming together and accepting. Like you know how they say devil on one, angel on the other, devil on one shoulder, angel on the other. It's like that in terms of parts of ourselves, parts of the mind. And if you have parts of your mind that's fighting you over things all the time, that's something we need to look at and work through right now. That's what I'm hearing. Natalia, let's see what the council has to say about your question. They said that she is a mirror for you, for sure. And the type of contract comes in as a mirror soulmate relationship, a mirror friendship, that when you're at home with yourself, that it can be really good, but you must release parts of yourself, because working with her means that parts of yourself that are not fruitful for your work as a whole, those parts of yourself, well, it's like a death of the ego. Those parts of yourself will have to be set aside and go through a rebirth before you can work fruitfully with that person, right? It's meant to be, but it's like sometimes you get catalyzed and you shut down and you go, well, maybe it's not meant to be, and maybe I'm not meant to work with that person, but maybe that person is a mirror for the death of your ego in ways that need healing and rebirth. You understand? Right? All right, Alexander, sure. Okay, so the Kuan Yin card I pull for you is about change and transformation, the Book of Changes. So your whole Akashic record right now is revolved around being in the midst of transformation and change will feel like the new norm this year for you. Roll with it, and it will feel less like rolling with the punches if you just float in the ocean as opposed to waiting on the next punch and turning out your cheek. Stop and float. Stop and relax. Stop and let that wave take you to where it needs to go. Trust it's going to be a big year for change for you. Okay. All right, guys. It appears that we've been at this for significantly longer than I thought. So I'm going to go ahead and close. Thank you so much for being with me today. And don't forget, those soul contract readings are limited time offer to be purchased in January only. So go ahead and take a look at the top of the chat and in the very, very first link if you want that. And that'll be wonderful. I forgot to pin it for you, didn't I? Oh, I've got to go back and try to find it and pin it. Did we do that? We did not do it. And now it's not scrolling back. Okay, I'm not sure that Anya's still here, so I will put this in chat for you. Here you go. There you go. I will try to pin that for you there. And I will see you probably this weekend. Again, we're going to be talking a lot about soul contracts throughout the rest of this week. Soul contracts are decisions that you made. Don't worry, you're not bound to them. You have free will, but they are decisions that you've made in your pre-birth intentions, before you even knew what your needs would be as a human, you made contracts to explore, to expand, to create, to enjoy, to love. And it's important to understand them. And if you don't like them, to decide how you want to shift, how you want to grow, how you want to rewrite them. So, um, so I have pinned that at the very top of the chat. And I will see you this weekend for discussion about the Elohim and channeling more about their true origin, and to give you a beautiful higher perspective about Elohim and to help you understand some things that people are afraid of, like archons versus archangels, Anki, Enlil, Atlantis, Lemuria, how we went into duality and separation, and what is true about who the Elohim really are. So this is an invitation to use your discernment. I'll see you this weekend. Have a happy, happy Wednesday night. Go enjoy your families. Good night.